Yo, it's your man Ryan Hollins, 10-year NBA veteran, ESPN analyst.
I take Middleton.
Oh,
I take Middleton right now. Right now, I take Chris Middleton right now.
You said, what might we talk about? And I said, we might talk about Giannis, and we might talk about him possibly being the MVP, and you had a reaction I was not expecting at all. Please share.
He's not the MVP.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Balled out.
Yeah.
Balled out. You
Two wins away from the finals.
Hold it, chill.
MVP of the league, most likely.
You put him in the NBA Finals. He did not make it there. Not just did he not make it, he grossly underachieved. Grossly. The man, as far as individual matchups, as we brought up, shot 29% when actually guarded by a formidable defender.
You're smarter than this.
No,
you know that.
It's not just a matter of which two great individuals can you put together. It, like any other sport, and perhaps more than other sports, is about chemistry and how you fit together. And right now, not only do we not know how Westbrook and Harden will fit together, but we should have very serious doubts. We should have skepticism because their individual careers have given that to us. Right now, it would go like this. LeBron and AD. It would go Kawhi and Paul George. Steph and Clay. When healthy, let's play the when healthy game. KD and Kyrie. And I have to respect what these two have done. Jokic and Murray.
Stop it. Stop.
I'm serious.
Stop. What have they done?
Well, for
what
one,
have they done?
For one, together have gone far in the playoffs and got a high seed
Far?
in the NBA. Yeah. How about the Western Conference semifinals? I'm sorry, what are Russ and Harden done together?
They've gone to an NBA Finals already. They've gone to an NBA Finals already.
Like,
and Harden the season before came a game 7 away from going to the finals.
Are they the same two dudes that they were? Are they the same two dudes they were back then?
Maybe better.
They're even better. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. Pow.
You think,
here's the reality.
You think over the last couple of years, those two have grown in a way, not individually, but as a tandem, that they're going to be better today than they were back then?
Absolutely. You mean you're the same guy? You're not a better guy at 30 than you were at 20?
Back to NBA Jam.
Here's the reality. Let's just take health out. No, actually, let's throw health in. This is the number 3 duo in the NBA. I'm going to say AD and LeBron because of LeBron's passing ability and able to fit with other stars. Kawhi and Paul George, even individually, as two-way players, their talent is...
You're putting them how to... I see where you're going.
I'm going to take AD and LeBron because of LeBron's passing ability. If we're going to say a duo passing. Number 3, I'm going Russ. I'm going Russ and Harden.
Over Steph
I'm going to go Russ and Harden.
Over Steph
because
and
of
Clay.
the injury. Because of the injury. But if not for the injuries, depending he comes back healthy, I'll place them on. I'm going to put respect on those rings they have and what they've done.
Because that's my point, man.
But I'm saying health. I'm going to say health-wise.
How do you turn basketball into fantasy basketball?
That's not what I'm doing.
How is it you can just play this game like, here's two great individuals, that makes them a great duo?
Let me answer that
That's
question
not how it works. Steph and Clay have rings. They're the core of not just a championship team, a dynasty.
Yeah. I said that's about health.
All right.
If I'm going to give them an advantage about health, but you're asking me how do I put those two together? As Charlie so eloquently stated, okay, James Harden led the NBA in scoring by about 7 or 8 points more than the rest of the second best guy. Russell Westbrook led the league in assists. And understand, he did shoot 29% from 3, but he sacrificed it. Hold on. He sacrificed his game for Paul George. And anybody who says he didn't sacrifice his shots, his attempts, is crazy.
Paul George and James Harden are not the same players. Paul George and James Harden are not.
You're right. James Harden scores more.
Yes.
Hold on. You said LeBron James the greatest player ever?
Ever.
What about Michael and Kobe? So you just going to pass Kobe up like that?
I'm going to pass Kobe up. I'm going to look at Michael. I'm going to look at the
I knew it. Patron America.
Yo.
Patron America.
Kobe Bryant couldn't fill, or Michael Jordan fill LeBron's shoes. The impact that he's had with different teammates, different organizations.
Would you be mad at me if I just walked off the show?
You can't leave.
Hey, are you aware that this man has tripled and doubled Michael Jordan in assists? Assists make other players better now.
I'm going to say one thing to you, Max. I don't know the numbers like you do. Michael Jordan is what in the finals? 6 and what?
Oh.
And what is LeBron in the finals? That's all I got to say.
Shaq, how many game 7s did MJ go to? 0.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
How many times did MJ see the Warriors, though?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Will you stop it?
I'm just saying, though.
Stop it.
He's going to beat the Warriors? He's going to beat KD,
when Jordan retired. When Jordan retired.
No!
Yes.
They would run laps around that Bulls team, yo. Are you kidding me?
Okay, let's go player by player.
Let's go player by player.
All right, point guard. Who you got?
Point guard, you got Steph. Who's guarding Steph? Pip?
No,
Harper?
I'm asking who. Yeah,
Okay, so
Harp,
look.
Yeah, Harp.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, Harp. Lock
So
it
he's
down.
going to chase him off the three.
Yeah, of course.
And then guess
It is the return of Ryan Hollins. It is very nice to see you.
RH?
my man, fellas, what's going on?
I am intrigued already. I'm going to change what we had planned here because I turned to you. You said, what might we talk about? And I said, we might talk about Giannis, and we might talk about him possibly being the MVP. And you had a reaction I was not expecting at all. Please share.
He's not the MVP. To me, when you talk MVP, that means you're the most valuable player on the team. Your impact is the largest. And when I watch Giannis, yes, he rebounds, he blocks shots, he defends, he does all those little things. I love what he does. I love him. But he's not going to close out a game for you. He's not going to go out and win that big game. In fact, in the fourth quarters, he turns into more of a center and more of into a roller to the rim rather than a guy with the ball in his hands creating opportunities for others. When you watch the Bucks play, it's Bledsoe, it's Middleton. Those guys are closing the games out. Those guys are hitting big shots. Those guys are playmaking, Jay Will. So for me, I can't put you in that MVP candidacy unless you're closing games. I just can't give you that type of credit. I'm not saying he can't develop it, and I love the strides he's made, the weight he's put on. I love how he's finishing, but he doesn't finish games, Jay.
And let's begin with the Lakers.
Well, actually, I'd like to begin. Can you go pull the car out around?
What
kind of outfit are you? What is this?
I thought you'd like this. You don't like this?
I do. Whoever's driving me, I like that a lot.
Oh, my God. Okay. Let the show begin. Let the show begin.
I didn't know
Show
that
has
was going to
begun.
happen. I apologize on behalf of First Take.
Oh, you're going to be apologizing a couple times.
I do this system, Ryan. I go 5 stars as an MVP candidate, caliber player.
Yep.
4 is an all-star, 3 is a starter, 2 is a rotation piece, 1 is a replacement player. Ryan, replacement player.
Okay. That's where we're going. We're going already?
I know. Well, I'm just saying. So
I've played great minutes in the NBA, Max.
Ryan and I go way back.
I want you to keep it in context. Keep it in context. As I watched that game, Philadelphia should have won the game. They let the game slip by. And there's one big problem. There's one big thing they keep fighting. And I want you to hear this. Keep it in context. Brett Brown may have to consider benching Ben Simmons in the fourth quarter. And I say that for spacing purposes. Is it Embiid? No. He can shoot threes. He can get it done on the block. You got a closer in Jimmy Butler. But if I need a bucket, last night, Ben Simmons gets in the way. If you're not going to put the ball in his hands because he won't take a jumper, he's been reluctant to take jumpers, and you put him in the short corner, now he gets in Embiid's way. He's in the short corner, Embiid's short rolling, and you got one guy guarding 2. And in today's NBA, it's all about spacing. Now, I'm not saying there's much to stand in for him. I'm throwing in TJ McConnell, as a matter of fact, maybe another shooter. But right now, as constructed, Ben Simmons may have to finish games on the offensive end, if I'm going offense, defense, on the bench. Why do I say James Harden became a winner? Because he stepped up, because he defended. If you actually watch the game, if you actually watch the series, which I don't think you did, they pressured James Harden to take away the 3 ball, and they forced him. That's how good he was. They forced him to drive the basketball. And when he drove the lane, he finished with dunks.
He hit 13 threes. He hit 2.
Hey, guess what? That's what.
That being a point guard in this league, or generally being a point guard, is not someone that you can win. Having your best player as a point guard is not a way that you can win in this league. That goes for all point guards.
Who agrees to that? Hold on. Who agrees to that?
Well,
We'll get into that later.
The point is, he is as good as you can, or close to as good as you can get at that point guard position. So we're looking at his stats. Chris Paul is an outstanding point guard. On the 4 games that he played without James Harden, he averaged over 20 points and over 11 assists. He's still very good.
Win those games?
He went into a bad situation. You can't win every game. I don't know, honestly. I would look up to see if he won this game.
Will win a regular season game.
Anyway, the point is, we all agreed when he went down there with Harden that it wasn't a perfect fit because they're both ball-dominant players. So I think that the value of Chris Paul has gone down significantly because he was in a situation where he was not.
May I quick, Ryan, before you jump in?
Please.
Look, he was in Houston 2 years. He was playing with James Harden 2 years. So we have a basis of comparison, right?
I just pulled it up in front of me to get you the numbers from 2 years ago. 46% from the field to under 42% from the field. 3-point percentage, 38% to under 36%. Like he declined as a player. We're not giving him a lifetime achievement award.
No, no one's
right
saying
now.
he's giving a lifetime achievement award. And I agree with you that adding Chris Paul to a team doesn't instantly make them a championship contender. But we're talking about Chris Paul as if he's bad. Chris Paul is a very, very good player, and he is still good enough to be a lead player, a top 2 or top 3 player on a championship caliber team. Just because he was with Harden in a situation that was not ideal for him, we're looking at him like he is awful. He can still play defense at a pretty high level. I just heard Jalen Rose say it this morning, so don't blame me. The man said it this morning on Get Up. He said he can play
Who's he gonna guard?
defense of multiple positions at a high level. Jalen Rose said it. Don't get mad at me, get mad at him. So the guy is a very, very good player. Whether he's elite or not is semantics, what you consider elite. But you guys pretending as if Chris Paul is not good enough to be a leader on a championship team.
Yeah.
So Chris Paul, answer the question. Chris Paul can't be the point guard on a championship team.
You know I'm over here, right? You know it's not just the Keller minute. When's the last time he was an All-Star? 4 seasons. When's the last time he's been healthy? Hold on.
You're going to ask the question. Was there a question mark or not a question mark?
It's clearly obvious. It hasn't been 4 seasons. Here's the reality. When he was moved to the Thunder, the first thing they voice and say is, we are moving and trading Chris Paul. The first thing, hey, he will never wear an Oklahoma City Thunder jersey. You would never have said something about this. I played with Chris. And the one thing I will say in response, Chris is going to go down as one of the greatest point guards we've ever seen play the game of basketball. He's going to be remembered for the pick and roll. But in all reality, Father Time is undefeated. He's not the same player.
This is why I was only arguing with Max, because those are 2 trash arguments. So that he hasn't made it to All-Star game.
Hold on, let me fix this.
I just let you talk.
Dominic, what is elite? I got to figure out.
How many times you went to an All-Star game? Like, we all know that an All-Star game is not the end-all be-all. It's about fan vote and about other stuff. So that's not even a good argument.
How do you define elite?
That's not even a good argument.
How do you define elite?
I'm defining elite as the type of guy that I can put on a team. He can be a top 2 or 3 player on a team that can win a championship.
He can't, because
I believe he can.
Okay, Dominic, we just
I believe he can.
A guy
on the team?
Guys, we just saw him in the most efficient system in the NBA. It's ugly to watch. It's not very exciting. It's been criticized for its effectiveness in the playoffs. It's a very efficient system.
He's going to be the X factor in the West.
Hands down, Russell Westbrook. Why do I say that? Russell Westbrook has the talent to win the NBA championship. He has the talent to beat the Golden State Warriors. That's how talented he is. But the one thing Russell Westbrook has to do, he's got to be efficient from the 3-point line. He's got to run his team. He's got to read coverages, make the right play, time in and time out. And in the 4th quarter, they have to run some symbol of offense.
We might have massive disagreement. You believe that Russ is such an X factor. Such an X factor.
Don't say
that his performance can carry the Thunder over the Warriors.
Oh, he said it again.
Absolutely. There's nobody on the Warriors that can stop Russ if he has his mind to it. But that's part of Russ's biggest problem, is that when he gets in his own way, he forgets everybody else on the floor.
Ryan, top-seeded Bucks. They taking the East?
No, man. Are you kidding me? The Bucks are not going to make it out the second round. They got to see the Boston Celtics in the second round. Do you understand that? When you look at Giannis, I love him. MVP candidate. I get it. Amazing season. He's going to struggle in the playoffs to finish in the 4th quarters. Physicality and athleticism is not going to be enough. We just raved about Luka Doncic. Why? Because he can shoot a deep 3 and finish from the outside. That's how you finish games out. Collectively, good group. They defend. They play hard. Great story. They're not beating the Celtics. I want you to keep it in context. Keep it in context. As I watched that game, Philadelphia should have won the game. They let the game slip by. And there's one big problem. There's one big thing they keep fighting. And I want you to hear this. Keep it in context. Brett Brown may have to consider benching Ben Simmons in the 4th quarter. And I say that for spacing purposes. Is it Embiid? No. He can shoot threes. He can get it done on the block. You got a closer in Jimmy Butler. But if I need a bucket, last night, Ben Simmons gets in the way. If you're not going to put the ball in his hands because he won't take a jumper, he's been reluctant to take jumpers, and you put him in the short corner, now he gets in Embiid's way. He's in the short corner, Embiid's short rolling, and you got one guy guarding two. And in today's NBA, it's all about spacing. Now, I'm not saying there's much to stand in for him. I'm throwing in TJ McConnell, as a matter of fact, maybe another shooter. But right now, as constructed, Ben Simmons may have to finish games on the offensive end, if I'm going offense, defense, on the bench. I say James Harden became a winner because he stepped up, because he defended. If you actually watched the game, if you actually watched the series, which I don't think you did, they pressured James Harden to take away the three ball, and they forced him. That's how good he was. They forced him to drive the basketball. And when he drove the lane, he finished with dunks.
He hit
13
threes. He hit 2.
Hey, guess what? That's what playmakers do. Let's break down the Lakers. What those young guys are going to do, they're going to develop, they're going to get better. One of the huge weaknesses that Golden State has, and they've always been exploited by LeBron, was the paint. Guess what the Lakers go out and get? Their big man who held it down last year.
Three of them. They got 3 of them.
Yeah. Oh, we'll count 2. We'll get Tyson Chandler, NBA champion. He can give you some minutes. Maybe he's not the same Tyson you remember, but he's good enough. JaVale McGee. I think he's up there leading the league in block shots. He's at least top 5. Yeah. And LeBron, who's going to eat.
Zubac was balling last night.
Zubac was balling. Yeah. I don't know how Zubac going to guard that pick and roll in the finals. Okay, I don't know he's going to guard that pick and roll. But you got 2 guys who are capable. LeBron's going to get in that paint. Oh, Luke Walton. Guess what he knows? The personnel and plays of the Golden State Warriors better than anybody. And like you said, D. Jones, you give LeBron James just enough. And not to mention, I expect the Lakers to make a move. There's going to be a guy who gets bought out, a trade that's on the table, something that comes along. Maybe it's JR gets out this deal, as you brought up earlier. And LeBron goes and says, come on, man, because I know you can ride out. I know I can rely on you in the playoffs. I know I can rely on you in big moments. So can you please not name the Rockets, not name anybody else that's a threat? I think you forgot how good LeBron is.
Here's the thing
I think you watch the regular season, you forget how good he is.
Here's the thing.
Hear this. I actually like this from the big fella because that's their culture. That's his personality. And these are 2 guys who aren't sensitive. That's why you bring Jimmy Butler into that locker room, because Jimmy's outspoken, Embiid's outspoken, and Simmons ain't no punk. As much as we want to be critical, they can take that. And if he goes out, I believe they respond to it. And that is a team that's been thrown together in a short amount of time and has actually gotten a whole lot better. So it's just who they are.
Yeah, Butler made them better.
But this is their identity, D. Jones. You know, you are who you are. Remember that Nuggets team that thugged out with Birdman and Kenya? They knew who they were. Yeah. You guys knew who you were. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know who they are? 4th best team in the East.
Yeah,
they're not 4th best. They're not 4th, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. They are 4th best.
4th. Raptors 1, Celtics 2, maybe. Milwaukee 3, Philadelphia 4.
They're better than Milwaukee.
By the way, you better hope they're 4 and not 5 because Indiana's not playing.
They're better than Milwaukee. They're not that bad. They're better than Milwaukee.
No, they're not.
Did you watch the game last night?
Yeah, I did.
They had Boston beat.
Yeah, they had them beat. But in a 7-game series, Milwaukee is better than Philadelphia.
No, they're not.
Is Perk's criticism of Steph, is it fair or foul?
I expect this from you. I expect this nonsense from you. But Perk, you out of line, big dog. I got love for you, dog. You a guy who played the game. You know Steph Curry's impact. Yeah. Here's the reality. Steph may not be the best one-on-one guy in the game, the guy who creates his own shot. But with the ball in his hands, he's magic. And it's not just for himself. It's not just shooting threes. It's the impact he has on other guys. Now, if you look at the game in the finals, he goes off for 47 points. The rest of the games, when he passes the ball, he can't help if Klay Thompson ain't on the floor. He can't help if Iguodala won't even look at the rim, if Draymond Green won't look at the rim, if Kevon Looney's missing, if Boogie Cousins can't jump over a phone book, a credit card, a cell phone. Boogie Cousins couldn't jump over a cell phone, bro. So we blame Steph Curry. Keep in mind, the shot that he missed, okay? The shot that he missed that would have extended the series out.
Yeah.
It was the hardest shot in basketball. A wing 3 on the move is the hardest shot in basketball. I get it. He didn't hit it. There were times when you watch the series, slow down, take a breath of fresh air, he was triple teamed. Bro, how many players get triple teamed? Your boy Kawhi Leonard didn't get triple teamed.
My boy Kawhi Leonard dribbled around Ben Simmons, very good defender.
Stop it!
And shot the 3 in the eyeballs of Joel Embiid,
everybody knows
how defender, to hit the 3 to send them to the next round. What are you talking about?
That defense was so horrible.
What are you talking about?
You know how bad that defense was? Because any good defender is not going to let Kawhi Leonard get to his right hand and get there. Embiid should have cut him off. We're not going to argue that, though. The reality is Steph made the correct basketball play, and when he was swinging, Draymond Green shot 22% from 3.
Hold up. So
what is he supposed to do?
A minute ago, you're talking about how great the Warriors are with all these great players. Now you're dissing every Warriors player. Look.
Hold on, wait. We're not talking about KD. We're not talking about Clay, bro.
Perk is right on the money, and I'm quite sure Perkins will also give him credit for what he did well. Although we debated. Perkins said the 47 points was meaningless. I disagree. They needed extra offense from Steph. They didn't have Clay. He gave it to him. I give him credit. I saw a lot of improvement in the finals from Steph in these finals. Improvement. But he ain't there yet. Look.
What is there? Hold on. What is there yet? He's an NBA champ.
I will explain. 6'3" and under. You could argue he's the best who ever did it. And this game selects out for height because, not in your case, but most people, because you're closer to the rim.
Such a troll. It's unbelievable.
The rim is elevated, so the taller you are, the better. Like, it's to your advantage. Even small ball.
Is that your logic?
Even small.
Hold on, is that your logic? Being taller is better?
I said not in your case.
Is it a 1-year deal? Is it a 2-year deal? Who is Patrick Mahomes?
So you're saying it's Patrick Mahomes with the
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're saying that a dude who in his first time he starts
touchdowns,
he wins the MVP of the league.
50
Is
touchdowns.
it a fluke? He didn't win at 35 in some league
to not just get out and produce, but be a model citizen. And I love the way
He's not. You said a model citizen. What has Odell done that he's not a model citizen, right?
He ain't won nothing.
That doesn't make him not a model citizen, dog. That doesn't make him not a model citizen because he hasn't won.
You scored the 3rd most points in a playoff performance.
What?
You scored the 3rd most points in a playoff performance. You scored the 3rd most points.
Come back. What's happened is you needed 3, maybe 4, three all-stars.
When you say come back, what do you mean by you say come back? Clarify that with me.
I am clarifying.
No, you're not. Lead with it. Lead with it.
This is a real exercise in frustration.
More pressure, Kawhi Leonard or Paul George?
Paul George is under more pressure than Kawhi Leonard.
There's more pressure on Paul George rather than Kawhi Leonard. It enamors me.
Because
and that's what
you're making the argument that Kawhi Leonard is the alpha.
So you're saying you've seen it before, right?
I know I've seen it.
So where do those expectations go? They go away?
They're proven.
They go away?
They're proven. It's 1 for 6.
But I'm trying to figure out, Will Kane. I don't know how it works in water polo when you had your little Speedo on. All right.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I know that's cute. You're into stats and highlights and all these numbers, and I'm not sure how it worked in water polo with you, Will Kane.
Hold on.
But
just to be clear, was 1 for 16 too complicated for you as a number?
No, I want to know.
That's usually your stat line, wasn't it?
Yeah, not a play on the ball right there. At all.
Hey, Jim, that is spot-on analysis.
That is analysis that you only get right here.
No. To close this puppy out. What are you going to do to close this puppy out? I go hard. To close this puppy out. What are you going to do to close this puppy out? I go hard.
And Ryan, I know you're focusing on this beef between the two players, but it kind of sounds like you're saying Rondo is a better player than CP3.
Absolutely. Rondo is healthier right now. Just by health alone, he's going to be able to give you more.
Oh, wow.
I will not.
At this stage in their career,
I will not.
Okay, coming
dignify
up.
that with a response.
There is
big game coming. Your normal practice. We got to be ready for the big 3, baby. Aliens coming up.
Okay.
Tiny, AO, G, Shannon, B-Rush, Vader. What up, baby? We getting ready. Hope y'all in the lab. Get ready. Big 3.
Constructed. The league had already
Can you
changed.
really call Miami a big 3? I know.
Yes.
Look.
What?
Bosh is a baller coming in. Bosh is a baller coming in. I'm looking at LeBron.
Max.
I'm looking at Wade.
Wait, you're saying they're not part of the big 3? It's a big one with Bosh? Are you saying it's a big one with Bosh?
I'm not all the way. Coming in.
Chris Bosh is the most underrated. That's unbelievable.
I love what Bosh did. I'm talking about 2 guys who win.
So one.
They're guys that were
kids that were 8 and 9 years old that come to me today and say, man, I'm 17, 19 years old, man. I'm a Clipper fan. I remember watching you play. I love what you did.
Them. So the NFL owners worked hard this offseason to bring this back into the forefront of conversation and create a rule that was still not going to be good enough. That is playing yourself 101.
My point that I was saying to you guys is that, and me and Will had the talk before I went on, and he addressed it. I was like, there's nothing really to talk about. So first off, we didn't address it. So I get what Will is saying. But it comes down to the players. If the leaders of the NFL, the faces in which you can't replace, don't speak up, there's no consistency, there's no unification.
Well,
why wouldn't the league do what they want to do without the players? Because the main guys who have a voice don't talk.
Well, that's not true, actually. A lot of the players. No, hold on. There are plenty of players out there, whether it's Chris Long or Richard Sherman. There are tons of guys out there.
Those aren't the leaders of the NFL.
They actually
don't call those guys leaders of the NFL.
Ryan, you can't ask guys who don't hold an opinion genuinely to espouse an opinion they don't believe in. So if those guys don't believe in an opinion, you can't ask them to speak for a movement.
I completely disagree. I completely disagree. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, you can completely disagree. That's fine. We're coming up to a hard out here against the clock, and we'll continue this conversation. But you need to understand the one thing that NBA players have all over NFL players is the luxury of time. Okay, the average NFL career is 3 to 5 years.
I don't agree.
That's fine.
I don't agree. That's not
Ryan,
about the leaders.
Ryan,
I don't agree.
That's fine. It's okay to be wrong. And in this situation, you're 100% wrong.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I think I know a little bit more about the NFL than you.
Let's dive. We can dive into it.
I'm pretty sure we will.
I guarantee you're wrong.
Wonderful.
When you call Ben Simmons a role player, Kevin Durant about to fizzle out, and Anthony Davis a complimentary piece, you get pushed behind the other side.
If I asked 10 different people, 20 different people who the leader of the Lakers was, you would get multiple answers. Rob Pelinka? Is it Clutch Sports? Is it LeBron? Is it Vogel? Is it Kidd? Is it Genie? There is no clear-cut leader. I'm not fully sold on Brooklyn right now.
KD and Kyrie.
Sold on Brooklyn.
Wow.
I'm not fully sold on Brooklyn.
KD and Kyrie is overrated.
I'm not fully sold. I'm not all in.
Yeah, I support you walking away.
You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I'm not.
Wow.
This isn't performance art.
Well, first off, I want to congratulate Giannis because those believe that I've been incredibly hard on him through the whole season. But unfortunately, no, they got it wrong. He was not the MVP of the NBA. I do not know how it was not James Harden. And when I think about James Harden's season, I think of first. There are a lot of firsts. The guy's numbers rivaled Kareem, Wilt, Michael Jordan.
Ryan, you look at these pictures. What do you think? Will KD actually be a better player when he does return to the court?
I believe Kevin Durant will be a better player. And the strong way that Kevin Durant's going to be a better player, you got to realize this guy's a unicorn. He's all of 7 feet tall. He can shoot the basketball. Not just shoot. One of the greatest shooters, if not scorers, that we have ever seen.
Inbound, here comes. This is for a tie from Durant. No!
From a talent perspective. And he's a dog. And if you watch Kevin Durant play, maybe we take out the ball handling, ability to run pick and roll just as well, but the patience is going to be there. And KD at all of 7 feet, and trust me, I know he's listed at 6'9". When I talk to KD, me and him look eye to eye.
Okay. It's very unlikely he'll ever be nearly as good as he once was, let alone better.
Kevin Durant could come back, brother. He could come back and be the best player on the planet. Do you understand that?
I don't think he ever has been the best, and I don't think he ever will be the best at this point. I think he could have proven that he was the best had a fully healthy Durant gone to Brooklyn, played the way he did at Golden State and won a championship on that squad, then I give it up. But I don't know if he'll have the chance to do that. What's that?
During that Clippers series, when they played the Clippers and he came out, hey, yo, I'm Kevin Durant. I thought he was.
48-win Clippers without a star on the team? That Clippers team?
That was probably the best matchup that they had. Well, check this out, Max. I'm gonna throw this to you. Played 10 years in the league. Last year, I had the opportunity to work in broadcasting. So not only did I compete against KD, but I broke him down analytically.
Wait, you competed against KD?
It's something that disturbed me. First of all, it should be a rule. If you ain't averaged 20 points in it at all your career for a season, or if you ain't averaged 10 for a career, you shouldn't be talking basketball on TV, okay? If you ain't averaged 10 points or better for your career, or ain't averaged 20 for at least one season, you don't need to be talking, dog, okay? Ryan Hollins and Damon Jones, come on, dog. I know a lot of, I don't know what's going on with that show, but I'm first team all common sense, so y'all need to come to some of my classes. Because there's no way a guy that has 3 championships and 2 MVPs have more to prove than a guy who has no championships. Steph is the first and only unanimous MVP winner, okay? 3 championships. James don't have none. So how can you sit up here and say Steph has more to prove than James? That sounds like somebody that wasn't really good in basketball. Just facts.
Hands down, Russell Westbrook. Why do I say that? Russell Westbrook has the talent to win the NBA championship. He has the talent to beat the Golden State Warriors. That's how talented he is. But the one thing Russell Westbrook has to do, he's got to be efficient from the three-point line. He's got to run his team. He's got to read coverages, make the right play, time in and time out. And in the fourth quarter, they have to run some symbol of offense.
We might have massive disagreement. You believe that Russ is such an X factor, such an X factor, that his performance can carry the Thunder over the Warriors.
Oh, he said it again.
Absolutely. There's nobody on the Warriors that can stop Russ if he has his mind to it. But that's part of Russ's biggest problem, is that when he gets in his own way, he forgets everybody else on the floor.
Ryan, top-seeded Bucks. They taking the East?
No, man, are you kidding me? The Bucks are not going to make it out the second round. They got to see the Boston Celtics in the second round. Do you understand that? When you look at Giannis, I love him. MVP candidate, I get it. Amazing season. He's going to struggle in the playoffs to finish in the fourth quarters. Physicality and athleticism is not going to be enough. We just raved about Luka Doncic. Why? Because he can shoot a deep 3 and finish from the outside. That's how you finish games out. Collectively, good group. They defend. They play hard. Great story. They're not beating the Celtics.